Today, Beep, we experience a new game mechanic. As you're playing this 2D side-scrolling game, the world around you changes. I can't wait to test it out. The Lost Bear review for the PlayStation VR. Let's begin! First up, let's take a look at the gameplay. You play this game on a 2D screen from a seat that is inside a virtual 3D theatre. Its core gameplay is a 2D puzzle platformer. The main character, called Walnut, does feel like she has a lot of weight to her at first, but if you give controls a chance and get used to them, the platforming shouldn't be too much of a problem, which is a good thing considering in some parts of the game, you are being chased. These provide the game's most fun and intense platforming segments. They wasn't too difficult and was a thrill to play. You get a slingshot at the beginning of the game. To aim, you use the DualShock's motion controls and fire a rock with the R2 button. The aiming is very precise, and because you have to use motion controls, it makes you feel more active in the world. A few times a crank will shoot up from under your chair that requires you to place your DualShock controller inside in order to rotate it. This will move parts of the 2D world, allowing you to progress on your journey. It's a great addition that makes you feel more involved in Walnut's adventure. There is also levers that need to be pushed side to side. You do these actions with the controller's motion controls, and it feels very responsive. As well as the cranks and levers, there are some puzzles that require you to look around the theatre to solve a puzzle on the 2D screen. These moments really are the Lost Bear's most creative part, and are fun to solve. There are collectibles in this game in the form of jars. To collect them, you must smash them with a rock. Some are quite easy to spot, but others are a little harder, due to the very detailed environment. Now let's take a look at how immersive this theatre setting is. It really is the best part of the game. The story is that your teddy bear has been taken, and you need to retrieve it. Ultimately, it is simple, and is told in a puppet-like manner. The depth is quite good when looking at the 2D screen. You really do feel like you're sitting in a theatre. 3D objects appear around the theatre to represent what is happening on the screen. Butterflies float around you and leaves fall around your chair. Fog can also be seen appearing from the bottom of the screen in some chapters. It truly is a magical experience. At one point, when looking around the theatre, you see 2D birds standing on the 3D environment. It's great seeing how the two art forms come together. The art style is fantastic and a lot of detail is seen on screen at all times. A lot of love and care has obviously gone into the environments, and I often found myself stopping to take in the sights. If you die, the curtains close, followed by a loading screen that takes you out of the theatre. It really does break the immersion, and the loading screens are a little longer than I would have liked. The sound is amazing. It echoes all around the theatre you're sitting in, and really does add an extra layer of immersion. The music also is a high point. Every environment has a distinct sound, and it all goes a very long way to keep you engaged in the settings at all times. Now let's take a look at the setup and what controllers the game supports. I played this game in a seated position just under 2 meters away from the camera. As you are virtually sitting down on a chair in the theatre, it's obviously best to stay seated for the whole game. You are always in one position, so this game should not give you motion sickness. This game is played with the DualShock controller. 1 move controller and 2 move controllers are not supported. Both the headset and DualShock motion controls are tracked very well. Although when you pull your controller out from some of the cranks, it feels a bit off due to you having to pull the controller quite far away before it responds and it is released. It's not really a problem though. Now let's take a look at how long the game takes to complete and what trophies come with it. This is a short experience that comes with 5 chapters. It took me about an hour to complete the game. There is however some trophies that could increase your gameplay time. In total there are 12 trophies that can be achieved. There is 7 bronze, 4 silver and 1 gold. A lot of them will be unlocked over the course of the 5 chapters, but there are some that you could potentially miss the first time around and will require a second playthrough, such as smashing all the firefly jars and finish the game without dying. I highly doubt you'll finish the game without dying on your first playthrough, as you have to learn some of the enemy's movements. And now it's time for the verdict. This game is a great example of how classic genres of games can have an upgraded experience with the use of VR. However, if you don't like 2D puzzle platformers, like Limbo for example, then this game probably won't change your opinion on them. but if you do like puzzle platformers, then you really are in for a treat, because the added immersion really does make this game very unique. If you get a kick from inspecting a game's artwork, then the game's visuals won't disappoint. At times, I felt like I was at an art exhibit when the curtains rolled back. It is a short experience, but for the whole duration of the game, it shines with quality. I really want more types of these experiences in VR, and I will certainly be checking up on the developers from time to time to see what they have planned for the future. It's a charming game that I think you will enjoy overall. It really is an impressive adventure. I give The Lost Bear a score of 8 out of 10. That was pretty good. Your turn, Beep. Beep! This isn't funny! If this review helped you in any way, please hit that like button, and also subscribe for more in-depth PlayStation VR game reviews.